Come on.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We are discussing Reddit today, and this is not the first time when we're doing this. We've had a lot of discussions about Reddit, and the reason being is that it is very influential these days. It ranks everywhere, especially for branded searches. Branded searches are your most important asset, and I've been talking about that also for many years because this is the bottom of the funnel. Everyone is searching everything these days. Today, it's not just only Googling your brand name before deciding if people want to deal with you. It's also asking ChatGPT, asking Gemini, AI mode. And guess what? Most of those platforms pull data from Reddit. It's not just rankings, it's also LLMs. And it's also very influential for the training data, which I'm seeing from audit to audit because LLMs pull all the information, all the comparisons, whatever people are saying about your brand, however they compare you to your competitors, all of that is being taken from Reddit. There are other sources as well, but Reddit is one of the most consistent ones. From audit to audit, I'm seeing Reddit being top one or at least top two resource for citations too. So we keep talking about Reddit because it's a very misunderstood, a very challenging platform. While being so influential and important, it's also the most challenging one. So it's something that people keep asking about. It's most of our sales calls. Everything is about Reddit these days. We don't know for how long, but this is something we need to address again and again. I'm Ann Smarty. I have been an SEO for more than 20 years. I have had a team that specializes in Reddit for more than 13 years, maybe already 14 years at this point. April would know better. She was there from day one, I guess. I am my co-founder of Smarty.Marketing. April, who is my co-host, is our director of social. She's actual expert here because she's on Reddit every day as a user as well as manager for our clients' Reddit accounts and subreddits. So she definitely knows much more. But I will give a little bit of introduction, then we'll have a discussion. Please ask your questions in comments wherever you're watching us from. We are streaming on LinkedIn from my personal account and Smarty, on Twitter, X as SEO Smarty, on YouTube as N Smarty, and also on our business Facebook page, Smarty Marketing Facebook. All of those platforms should funnel all the comments to our dashboard. We may miss some if something happens, but we usually try to reply to all of them. So Reddit is what we're discussing today, and we've been talking about Reddit again a lot. And Smarty.com is my newsletter, and this is where you can find a lot more discussions, case studies on Reddit. We have been using Reddit for our clients as a platform for viral marketing, ethical viral marketing, which is very transparent and very effective on Reddit because a lot of content and link amplifiers like journalists, bloggers, they all use Reddit as their homepage in search for article ideas. So it is a great platform to get your assets seen. So that's how we actually started on Reddit, to promote studies, surveys, research, infographics on Reddit. This is our specialty, and we've been doing that for many years. But these days, we are also doing reputation and visibility marketing on Reddit to make sure that brands have their voices. The problem with Reddit is that everyone goes there to find opinions about brands, about products, about places, about, hotels. And they ask questions and ask to share experiences with what they are going and considering to buy. So Reddit can change the sales funnel immensely, because a lot of people who will share opinions there or their experiences with brands or products are not happy customers. It's not just the nature of Reddit, because let's say Reddit is not the most friendly platform out there. Most people, it's very well known as the platform that likes to discuss anything in a negative way. It's also because unhappy customers are just more motivated. They have that impulse to go and share what went wrong with any product or business. And the happy customers are just happy customers. They are happy and they move on with their lives. But unhappy customers are likely to go to Reddit. And unlike other platforms, brands usually don't have any means to reply to those reviews or to even add their context there to explain why something may have gone wrong. And that is the problem, because customers are there and businesses do not know how to get there. My personal story with Reddit, I have been on Reddit for more than 10 years, like I said. I have always been intimidated by it. I never posted, I never commented, because it's very easy to say something wrong there. And they have their own language, their own terms that sometimes I have problems with, because as you can hear, I'm not even a native speaker. I have always been very intimidated by the platform. Every subreddit has not just official rules of its own. Every subreddit has unofficial accepted tone that people know if they're part of that platform, but you as a newbie may not know, and it's very easy to say something wrong. So I started being comfortable with Reddit when I started my own subreddit. That is my personal getaway to my personal way into Reddit was actually starting something of my own there. And I did this exactly for that reason. I didn't know how else to become part of it. Please join my subreddit, by the way. It's SEO for AI. There I very carefully curate everything useful about how to optimize for AI, for LLMs. A lot of that has a lot to do with SEO, but sometimes we share status, tools, tactics that are AI only. So it's a useful way to be updated on what is going on with this new thing that we all have to deal with. So SEO for AI, if you want to see an example of what I'm going to talk about today, that is my own subreddit. It's very new. It's like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months old, but it is something that I enjoy doing. So your own subreddit is where you create your own rules. And I have had feedback from many other moderators that would suggest me, you should not allow this. You should not allow people sharing their own tools or their own articles. But I have my own rules there. I'm like, this is newbie friendly. This, as long as they are transparent and useful, as long as they don't try to sneak in irrelevant promotions of their tools or sites, as long as they do not try to fake that they just like the tool and not own it, it is okay. So you can create your own rules inside your subreddit, and that is how I learned to enjoy it, because this is where I have all the rules. And that is something a lot of brands and businesses need. I don't say it's just all businesses, for sure. There are small businesses who may not have resources or budgets for that, or may not even need that. There are experts that may participate elsewhere and build their own reputation on Reddit without managing their own subreddit. There are businesses that too professional for Reddit, and they do not even have their target audience there. So of course, there are exceptions, but in many cases, there are two signs that you may need your own subreddit. First, and very important sign is when you have problems with reputation on Reddit, whether it ranks for your brand name or not yet. In most cases, it will. But if people are already discussing and misunderstanding your business on Reddit, there is no better way to balance that with actual constructive way to explain how your tool or how your product works, unless you have the space where you can create your own rules. Because in most cases, when businesses try to reply to negative comments on Reddit, what happens is that it fuels the fire. Reddit doesn't like that in most cases. It makes negative threads even more popular. It makes your brand look even worse in most cases, because businesses don't really, they often get too defensive, too aggressive with replies, and that fuels the fire. You may lose your account when you try to reply to too many comments on Reddit too, because it's very easy to get suspended on Reddit or banned from a certain important subreddit. There are so many ways it can go wrong. Much safer way is to develop your own channel and post what is really happening there. Over at nsmarty.com, I give a lot of more reasons to create your own subreddit, even if you do not have reputation problems yet. That includes, you can use it as customer support. You can use it as additional visibility channel, because it will rank for many other queries, not just your brand name, and it will drive traffic. Developing a new visibility channel is never a good idea, especially now. I've been saying that for years, that you have to be everywhere, it matters. But now it's even more obvious with Google stealing a lot of clicks from most of us. So it is very important to think where else you should be and how to balance that visibility across channels, so that if you lose one of them, there will be a lot more you can rely on. And having a community, having an active community is always the biggest asset you can create, because this is where you grow your own brand ambassadors. They will go then and defend your name elsewhere on Reddit. They will help you curate good, positive things about your brand, and they will also recommend you to everywhere else. So having your community is priceless, has always been like that. It's my personal business model for as long as I can remember. I always create communities, and I always rely on them. That's probably how I've survived all Google's updates, all Google's everything that has been going on in our industry, not just Google, but also other things like AI these days. So for all those reasons, creating your own subreddit is a great idea in most cases. But it is not something you can do quickly. That is something that we have to explain to clients on a regular basis. This is an investment of time. If you hire someone to do that, that is a budget as well. That takes a great community manager that is dedicated to what to your goals and what you are trying to achieve there. That is adding real value. That is adding real time in understanding how to promote the subreddit without getting into trouble. So it is not easy for sure, but it is not easy for just about any channel if you want to do it right. Good SEO is not easy. LinkedIn marketing is not easy. Growing your X, Instagram, TikTok channels, YouTube channel, all neither of that is easy. With Reddit, it's just a little bit more confusing because it definitely takes time to understand what it takes. It is going to be quiet for a while. You will have to move very careful until you understand what it is accepted well, what triggers good emotions, how to post, how to say something without annoying anyone. So it is a little bit more challenging than any other channel that you can create. But in many ways, it is much more rewarding too, because once you spend a few months on Reddit trying to create a very useful channel, you will see organic growth. You will see a very easy trend. You will see a very good trend of people just finding you through their feeds, sharing your information, tagging you anywhere. It is rewarding, but not easy. And again, andsmarty.com is where I list more things to keep in mind and maybe make one of your goals. I would say that when you plan this strategy, first take your time. I just had the question from one of our clients is when we can start Reddit ads. And I always say, spend a few months preparing for that, because Reddit ads may blow up as well. They may backfire with negative emotions if you don't do your homework first, if you do not establish yourself a little bit before trying them. So it is something that takes time, but it will open a lot of doors for your business to grow once you see some organic growth there. Do it right. This is something we will be discussing with April today as well. I know there are some questions as well and some feedback too. So April will be bringing this up and we will discuss all of that.
A question from Eddie.
Yes, it is hard to measure traffic from Reddit. They are showing as direct. Is there a trick? I think UTM doesn't work either. I don't know. We pretty much always use Google Analytics, and it is showing a social media traffic. And if you create a filter to see the source, it will be Reddit. Maybe it's not all. In most cases, well, we really don't suggest clients focusing on traffic, at least at the beginning, that much. It really is not easy to start sharing links there without getting in trouble. Brand visibility, name visibility is something we are also tracking on Reddit. There are tools to track Reddit mentions, and ideally you will see more branded searches as well. I know for publishers it's different. They do not need branded searches and brand visibility as much as traffic, because that's their business model. But in terms of businesses, e-commerce, other business models, we track both traffic and brand visibility. And almost brand visibility is even more important, because this is what is going to be a part of organic rankings for your brand name, of LLM training data in some time, citations. So we track both for sure. But Google Analytics, from my experience, is not bad for seeing referral traffic from Reddit. I'm not sure what you are using. Maybe schedule a call with me like you did today, and I will maybe show you how to find it. Maybe, I'm sure you already know how Google Analytics works, but definitely we use Google Analytics for that pretty successfully. Maybe quite possibly we are losing some of the data, but in most cases we can see growth from Reddit traffic using Google Analytics.
Another question here.
Have you seen local service business working well with Reddit? In full transparency, we don't have a lot of, we don't have small local businesses at all on as clients. So no first-hand experience here. I'm not sure if this about large businesses or small businesses. For larger businesses that can afford time and resources for managing a subreddit, I would also do niche subreddit for sure. For example, location and problem you're solving. In most cases, that works because people are locally using Reddit to find services, but it's a little weird to have a branded local business there. So I would start with a niche subreddit. At least I will explore that option based on what it is you are doing, and that might work as well.
I guess I'll go to my questions. So how do you go about building a community for your in your subreddit?
Well, April, you will definitely be contributing here because I know how I was doing that, but definitely in my niche, April is managing a lot of different topics for clients. The fundamental rule is, and that is where I started, is just do your best to be useful. Say something that you yourself find useful. Maybe it can be funny or entertaining. There are different types of useful, but as long as you are genuinely trying to add something cool and important to your subreddit and do it consistently, people will start engaging with that just naturally. So that is the fundamental rule for that. I know, April, you may have a lot more to say here. We will not share everything we're doing because it's definitely different from client to client and from topic to topic. But maybe some tips here from you, April, as well.
Yeah, I think you just like you said, you just want to try to be useful and entertaining to your community. Usually, we start out with like not necessarily sharing branded stuff, but like just stuff that's relevant to the client's topic, and just going to the various communities that are like tangent. I don't know how to say that word. Forget it. The communities that are like relevant to your topic, and go to those and like, just find things that are interesting to you. Like, was this something that you would, if you're going through Reddit, would you stop and read it? It could be like fun, like a fun fact about like it's relevant to your, like in the ballpark of your topic, or like some historical fact, or like today in history kind of thing. Like, let's say you have like a car client, or like in the automobile industry, you can find things about like when things were invented in the car, like who invented them, things, just fun facts about that kind of stuff. Go to those communities, share them, not with like an agenda, just share them just genuinely to like entertain people and just engage with people and stuff. And like we found that that's doing that slowly and consistently over time does bring people back to the brand subreddit, because people might get curious about like, I wonder who shared this, and then look at the user, I mean the account who shared it, and then they find like the subreddit, and then that brings traffic back because all that cool stuff is in that subreddit as well. So then they're like, oh, this is interesting stuff in here. So then it's a very gradual process. Definitely takes time and just consistency. And like most people on Reddit, people just really don't want to be marketed to directly. So you have to bring something to them. You have to contribute to their entertainment and like their experience on Reddit.
Yep, good question from Todd. Should a solo consulting start a subreddit? Like I started at the beginning, I said it's not probably for everyone, for sure. If you are an expert, it takes time. Let's put it like this. I'm almost like I cannot say I'm a solo consultant. I'm definitely a business entity, but my subreddit was my personal adventure, at least for now, and it takes time. So it all comes down to how much time and resources you can dedicate to that for anything you are trying to do. If you have a cool idea that does not exist on Reddit that much anymore, if you have a cool concept of subreddit that you don't think is represented on Reddit yet, that is almost always a good idea to try. But if you are just trying to do that for developing your personal brand, it's much better for your time and resources just participate on other threads and answer questions from people. So it's definitely not always the case, especially when it comes to individual creators, experts, small businesses. It all comes down to if there is a need, if you already have a problem on Reddit that needs to be fixed, if your business is already misunderstood on Reddit and discussed in the light, in a way that is not what it really looks in reality, then it's almost always a good idea, especially if it takes time, do it before it becomes a huge problem for you. If it's for personal branding, just being on Reddit, sharing your expertise, starting threads, answering questions, in most cases is likely a bad idea.
So I think one of the questions we get a lot is how do you like do your best to avoid being banned on Reddit?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, something, a disclaimer, it may happen whatever you do. Sometimes it happens even before you start doing anything. One of my accounts was suspended on Reddit a few weeks after I created it, but I never did anything with it. I didn't even post anything. I didn't even like anything. I just set it up and left it before I had time to do anything with it. So it may still happen. It is frustrating. Reddit will not give you a reason in most cases why it was suspended. There is no way to appeal. Well, there is a way to appeal, but you will never hear back. So there is that possibility for sure, whatever you do. But there are ways, and I think it has become much worse recently with suspending accounts. We've been on Reddit for 13 years, and this year and last year, Reddit has become much more aggressive with suspending, probably because it is very much spammed, which is unfortunate. But there are ways to minimizing the risks of being suspended. One is not grow too fast. Don't try to karma fish after you, or like don't try to grow your karma artificially, just posting whatever and too quickly and be relevant. Don't try that. Don't try to be too promotional about your tool. That is a good, or product, that is a good way to get banned from subreddits. I have been very patient with my membership on my subreddit, but even I started banning people from it at some point when I see every comment promoting your platform or your product. And most moderators are not even as patient as me. So it is a good way. Don't be too promotional. Don't be too artificial. Like, don't try to build karma or positive history too fast in all possible ways. Just move slowly and be yourself, be useful, and you should be good. Don't rush to post links. That is automated suspension from Reddit almost immediately. So be careful. Move slowly, especially the first 2-3 months. Be very careful with what you say and how you say and what you post and how fast you move.
You gotta read the rules on every subreddit too, because are all different.
And the good idea to kind of read the subreddit for a few days before you try to do anything, because like I say, if there are quite a few unwritten rules on each subreddit, when they hate a certain term or a certain point or a certain person, and you mention something like that with best intentions without trying to do anything wrong, and you can be banned from that subreddit just like that. So it's a good idea to get acquainted with the unwritten rules of each subreddit before trying to post anything there too. So just to read comments by all means, because they will reveal a lot about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable on each subreddit. Read answers to comments. Just read the conversations to get a feel of what can get you in trouble. That is, don't rush to say something right away. And I think most of us on any community have had troubles with that, especially when you were in UB. I have a huge history with SEO forums. I got in trouble. I was, 20 years ago, I was trying to participate. Maybe that was Digital Point. I was banned there, right? Like that, for just asking some question that apparently wasn't a good question. And many years after, about 10 years ago, I got in a huge trouble on another SEO forum, which I will not mention. So everyone, every of us who was trying to participate in communities, forums, discussions, know this unwritten rule. You first read and you read carefully, trying to understand those unwritten rules. What is search subreddits, filter, like sort them by popular and see what is popular and probably why. Maybe some of those threads may be popular for that exact reason, because every people were angry posting there and they keep commenting and commenting. So just get yourself very familiar with every subreddit you are trying to be part of, whether it's being cross posting there, whether it's starting threads there, whether it's commenting there. It doesn't matter. You have to know that subreddit before you do anything there. With that, thank you so much for coming today. We stream every Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST. If you want to know which topic we will be discussing, it's nsmarty.com, where I announce everything and give links to join, whether it's live, whether you watch us as replays, which is usually how people watch our videos. Ask your questions. Smarty.marketing is where you can schedule a quick call with me. It's free. I will not try to sell you anything anywhere. Anyone who used that option can confirm it's not a sales call. I just like talking to people and discussing their websites, anything. If you're interested in help with the Reddit strategy, please reach out using the same link, or just reach out on any social media network or through our website, Smarty.marketing. Thank you so much. I hope that was useful and inspiring, and you are considering building your presence on Reddit now. Thank you so much. Ask your questions and comments, and we will reply all of them after we are done here. Thank you so much, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Abe.